When you talk of microinsurance, basically what you will find is that it's just like SHA, but here you have a larger scope. So the amount of money you are required to pay under microinsurance is from 4,000 shillings.
Everyone, I hope this video finds you well. My name is Martin in case you're here for the first time. Na sisi ni watu wa insurance. We do civic education as well as reviews on insurance, especially within the Kenyan market. So in case you are here for the first time, we respond to questions that you keep sending to us. And if you are there, you are stuck on anything insurance, we normally recommend our viewers to keep sending us those questions up in the comment section. Kama unataka kujua anything on insurance, whether it's medical covers, whether it's general covers za magari, whether it's claim process, anything that you think around insurance, we are open to serve you or to educate you, to empower you with information, because what is lacking in the industry is transparency and information. Mtu ameuzwa cover lakini hakuambiwa the nitty-gritties, what is contained in the policy. So ikifika pale mwisho unaulizwa bwana kusoma hii na unasema ati uliambiwa sign here.
Actually you are given just like a small piece. Kaambiwa you just sign here. Hizo zingine nitakutumia.
But at the point of claiming unapewa kitabu kama hii.
You have got a booklet.
Yes. So we are here just to help you understand insurance and how it works, so that you avoid being frustrated. So today we want to discuss on medical cover, and I think we have done several videos on medical cover, so make sure that you go back and watch those videos, because right now medical cover is a basic need.
It's a basic need.
Basic need, especially for those people who have families, and I believe most of us have families. You are coming from a family, or either you have a family. So medical cover is a very basic thing, and we want to discuss we want to compare 3 insurance covers. That is SHA, which is a government scheme. We also want to look at microinsurance or micro health insurance, and also the conventional private medical covers. This is kaza kawaida tu. So maybe we can start by explaining what they are.
Sure. So thank you again, our viewers. You are wonderful people, and we want to show you how you can procure a medical cover in a different style, because the industry allows you to have not necessarily one. You can even have 2 or 3 medical cover. But a disclaimer is that one medical cover must get exhausted before the other one takes over, or you can choose which one you want to use at a certain particular point. So basically we have 3 types of medical cover, medical schemes, and I want to say this: one of the biggest assets you could possibly have today is having a medical cover or a medical scheme, for that matter, because we know that one day you are healthy, the other day we are hearing stories, and sometimes the only thing that can deplete whatever investment you could have had, it's an illness. So majority of us lives just one illness away, and you can probably become poor from that point. Yes.
We wanted to we say SHA is a government scheme. What about microinsurance?
So we put them in this way and in this order. One is that we have SHA, which I would also urge our people, as much as a lot of people are having negative view on SHA, it's always important to have it. You'd rather have it and then the cover doesn't really take care of everything than have nothing. So the first thing, have that SHA, and then you could also choose, depending with your profile ama penye uko kwa society, Yeah, when you go for society, you can choose to have either microinsurance, that is for middle income earners, and or you can also choose to have what we call the ordinary medical private cover or private medical cover. Yeah, so basically those are three. We have the SHA, we have the microinsurance, and we have the private medical cover. The difference generally comes from this point. Who are the sponsors? When we talk of SHA, we are saying that the government is the sole sponsor of this particular scheme. When we talk of microinsurance, we are saying that not every assurance company offers that. And basically, even SHA is kind of a microinsurance company. However, the sponsor of SHA is a government. When you talk of the microinsurance, is usually provided by private schemes or private medical insurance companies. And we have now the regular or the ordinary medical cover. It's also provided by select insurance companies. So that is one. Number two is on the affordability. Or before we even come to affordability, how do you onboard or how do you get into this kind of scheme? When you talk of SHA, we are saying that you just go to an office of NHIF or the SHA, it's now called the SHA, or a cyber cafe. So the process is quite simple. There are no paperwork, you just do it digitally. But when you talk of microinsurance, majority of insurance companies which are providing this kind of you'll be forced to have some paperwork. Yes. But there are other companies that have digitized the process so that you don't have to do it manually. Yeah. And when you talk of now the ordinary or the regular medical cover, that one requires some kind of paperwork. However, it's not mandatory because there are those companies which are leaders in this industry that have already adopted a digital way of onboarding you. Yeah, so that is on the onboarding part. Now, another key difference you will note with these schemes is on the target market. So when we are talking of SHA, it's purely for the multitude or the general public, those people who are underprivileged or the ones we call what we call them? Low income earners. And for the microinsurance, it's also designed for those people who don't earn a lot or who doesn't have a lot of money. And when we talk of now the regular, you will find that their premiums are a little bit higher compared to those two. So it's designed for people who can really afford middle and higher. So on the amount, as we talk of SHA, it's very, very affordable. So for SHA, it starts from 300 bob. It can go way up to maybe 30,000 for people who are earning above $1 million. And you'll hear this a lot with our MPs or the politicians. It's quite, do I call it punitive on those people who are high income earners? Yeah, but it's the way it's designed, it's to balance so that the people who can afford can support those people who can't really afford. So that is for sure. It's quite straightforward. It's straightforward. Its premium are quite low. Now, when you talk of micro,
so I think it's good to mention that the charges depends on what you feel, the details that you feel in there when you are. Well, I think different people are paying differently.
Different people are different. You could be earning the same amount. Unfortunately, when you are keying in your personal details, you put in some let me put it this way. If I say
kwa class ya mito lakini uko chini bado
kabisa. Ukisema mimi naishi kwa nyumba ya mawe,
yes,
mwingine aseme naishi kwa nyumba ya matope, so those people, as much as you could be earning the same amount,
yes,
you'll be paying differently.
So it means what you are feeding, you need to be very careful. So unaweza jaza kitu ikuletee per month huko unalipa like extra.
Yeah, sure.
It doesn't mean that when you have a need that you'll be paid differently.
No.
Kama unalipa less, yes, na mtu mwingine amelipa juu, I think the services are almost the same.
The services are well cut out. There is no differentiation of the benefit, unlike in the other schemes.
Yes.
When you talk of microinsurance, basically what you will find is that it's just like SHA, but here you have a larger scope. So the amount of money you are required to pay under microinsurance is from 4,000 shillings per year. So to some extent you could find that microinsurance are even charging less than SHA. So the premiums are from 4,000, they can go up to 20,000 per year. So when we talk of now the ordinary medical cover, the premium starts a little bit higher, from 17,000 way up to possibly 100, 200, depending with the benefits you have chosen. So that is on the affordability.
Yes.
Yeah. On the other thing is that the scope of cover. When you talk of SHA, it's a little bit limited, yeah. But we in our next video we may discuss purely on what are the benefits of SHA as compared to benefits of other medical schemes. So for the scope, we have said that SHA it's a little bit limited.
Yes.
When you talk of the microinsurance, the scope is a little bit higher, and the panel of hospitals are quite expanded.
So for a layman,
yes,
when you talk about scope, unamaanisha what is covered.
Exactly.
Ile magonjwa inalipwa.
So
what specifically in layman's?
In layman's language, we are talking of how much the medical cover would pay for you when you are in that hospital bed. What is covered under SHA and what is covered under microinsurance. You know, because the microinsurance is usually provided by private insurance companies, you find that you are able to negotiate on the terms, unlike under SHA. It's more of a pre-made, yes, a cover already put.
Yes.
For you either take it or leave it.
There's nothing much you can do in terms of adjusting.
Yes, you can't adjust. But when you talk of the microinsurance, there are a lot of negotiation you can do on that.
Yeah, you can what we call it. You can custom make.
You can custom make. When you talk of the regular now, it's more of a comprehensive cover. It covers you everything from maternity to dental. To outpatient, and
even medical illnesses.
Yes, and a huge inpatient limit. Yeah, so that is on now the scope.
Before we shifted to SHA, I remember it was a requirement when you're taking a medical cover, as a private medical cover, you needed to have an NHIF.
Yes.
Has things changed with the SHA? Is it a requirement for you to have a SHA? Or what's the connection between a SHA and a private medical cover?
Okay, so before, what used to happen is if you take up a private medical cover, you had also to take up a SHA or NHIF rather, so that the amount that is that remains, it was to be paid by now the private medical cover.
But in short, they used to share the bill.
Yeah,
it was shared some amount.
Yes.
The balance is paid by private cover.
But today you can take your medical cover. It doesn't have to, you don't have to have the SHA. Yeah, so it's not mandatory that you will have to tick a box.
SHA huwa inalipa the critical illnesses because I believe the private covers kuna hiyo part, yeah, they normally cover.
So what you'll find is when the SHA was being rolled out, we had the people who are rolling out the scheme, they were saying that the cover ought to be paid those particular benefits. But what I know about now the private, although that one may require some wait and see, because we've just rolled out and we are experiencing some gaps. So I hope that the government comes up with ways of addressing the issues that are
popping up there.
That are popping up, yeah. But when you talk of private, you are guaranteed that when a critical illness comes up, yeah, you are guaranteed that it will pay. However, there are some conditions that must apply when you have either the microinsurance or the medical cover, that is the ordinary medical cover. Because, and maybe I ought to have told you this, when you talk of microinsurance cover, we are talking of a medical cover designed not really to compete with SHA, but to complement. And by so doing, we kind of focus on the very low segment of our society, the people who doesn't earn so much but still want to have the feeling of a private medical cover. Yeah, so that is the major difference. So when we talk of now the critical illness coverage under SHA and under micro and also under the private medical cover, what you'll find is for SHA, sometimes you go to a hospital and then there are a lot of some gaps. You are told, let us wait for a call from someone, yeah, who is possibly not in. Yeah, so those
and also the unpredictability of how much I will pay, you cannot like predict.
Unlike the NHIF, you could always say that this is the much I can expect to be covered when this particular illness is on. Under micro, you already know that if I take a cover of $500,000 and I have a pre-existing condition or a chronic illness, my cover limit is $250,000, so I can cover the difference. When we talk of the ordinary medical cover, that is for the high end, and by us saying it's high end, we don't necessarily mean that's for the rich. No. The difference could even be like 5,000. Difference between yes, very minimal, something that you really can't complain. Yeah, so you will find that under the other one, the regular medical cover, it's more of a comprehensive cover. Yeah, at the same time, look at the hospitals in between SHA, between microinsurance, and between the regular. What you'll find is that under SHA, the hospitals are quite limited to just public hospitals and some select private. When you talk of microinsurance, it gives you a little bit of a higher panel or more number of hospitals that you can visit. And when you talk of the regular cover, you are given up to possibly 2,000 hospitals. So some of them outside the boundaries of Kenya. So basically that is the difference between those three. So if you would like to understand what is the cost implication of each, we can do a quotation for you. And guys, what I would also urge you, if you don't have SHA, please register. Sometimes having something is better than having nothing. You may find, yes, you have your private medical cover, but the bills have gone overboard. So what would happen if you had no SHA? Or what do you think would be the implication if you had it? So that is why it is important you register first, and then you also complement that with your because what we know is that illness doesn't have a budget. Today you can get sick and it can really cost you so much. Some other day you can go to a hospital and possibly spend a very little amount of money. So that is why we would like you to register. And before I forget, we can help you to get quotations from different companies so that you can compare, and we show you the scope of each. For example, we can show you what Britam has and their scope or the amount of money they can cover you in the event of a chronic illness like cancer, diabetes, arthritis, heart attack. We can show you. When you talk of Jubilee, we can also tell you this is the much you will pay for this particular cover limit, and these are the sub limits. Yeah, and we talk of AR, we talk of APA. So we are not limited to one company. So because we want to help you get the best choice, and also a company that we can hold accountable. Yeah, during the.
So I think among the many differences that we have highlighted, the most important difference is the predictability.
Good.
One, in terms of how much you pay, you can be able to predict or to know the actual amount that you can pay for a private medical cover versus microinsurance cover, as opposed to the SHA, because SHA you are filling in the details and then they do their own calculations. Yes. They give you a figure. And number two is the predictability in terms of how much will be paid when you go to hospital. For a SHA, you're not sure, but for private cover, at least you are told that for this type of condition, you can be paid this much and all this. So you're able to plan yourself.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So make sure that you keep typing those questions, because we might maybe have missed something in our presentation, but we are always open to continue feeding you with information that is relevant. So to manage the maswali for comment section, and we'll be happy to respond to them in with a detailed video such as this one. And I hope we gave you value for your time. And until we see you in the next video, God bless you and bye bye. Bye bye.